as they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
So you've not brought in anything different from other camps to kind of adapt to the opponent or anything like that, no?
No, and fortunately enough, my last opponent, Andre Yule's quite similar to this opponent. You know, they're both southpaws, they're both very tall and long limbs and stuff. So, you know, if I'm honest, since the last fight, pretty much camps just remain the same. You know, I just make sure, obviously, that I'm in the fittest and strongest shape that I can get in, and you know, go in there and just do what I do best.
How are you relishing this week? Obviously, there's a lot of expectations on you. You know, Brad Pickett, the whole UFC London story that went with Brad. It's sort of been passed on the torch to you from Brad. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you this week?
There is pressure, but pressure makes diamonds, and I honestly, you know, I rise to it. So obviously, when you've got your family, your friends, and you look up and everyone's cheering you, that does add pressure. But you know, some people crumble from it, and some people rise to it, and I definitely say that it improves me as a fighter.
The London has been very good to you in the past, right? We've seen some big finishes in the Cage Warriors days. Do you feel like this will pour over into your UFC London debut?
100%, and you know, on them Cage Warriors days, obviously in the Indigo, it was about 1,500 people, maybe 2,000, and this is going to be 20,000. So I'm hoping that everyone's going to be on their feet, and that's going to be a special moment for sure.
Brad was talking to us recently, and he spoke in particular about the Vaughan Lee fight that you fought in Cage Warriors, and he felt like suddenly a switch went off with you when that happened, and you suddenly realised, like, I can be in the UFC, I can be among these guys, and I can be one of the best of them. Do you see that fight as a big turning point for you as well?
Definitely, because obviously the Vaughan Lee was the kind of real step up in competition, and obviously how that fight went, just I got to showcase my skills, and if I'm honest, from that I found a new kind of confidence. And that's helped and been a big part of my game.
Is this big for your family as well? I know your father's always in your corner, and obviously you being a Londoner. Like, I mean, does this feel like it's really important for everyone involved in your life that you have a big day on Saturday?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, this is obviously, you know, my family, obviously they're always proud of me, and, you know, to represent my country and my hometown, it means a lot. So, you know, I just got to go out there, get the job done, and then I'm going to enjoy a bit of a win time.
But the Nathaniel Wood brand goes through the roof here, surely, if a win on Saturday. Is that the way you're seeing it? Like, you know, obviously all the hardcore fans in the UK and Ireland know who you are, but this should kind of put you in a whole new stratosphere, right?
I'd like to think so. Obviously, this is my first shot on the main card as well, so I don't quite know how many more views it's going to get, but I'd like to think that a lot more people are going to be watching and tuning in. So, as I say, you know, I've just got to make sure that I put on a performance, which is what I intend on doing, and you know, I just want to make everyone proud, and you know, I'm the only Londoner on this card, so you know, I want to represent.
Is the pressure different? And maybe let us in on what Brad has said to you in the last couple of days coming in to this fight.
I wouldn't really say the pressure's different. I would just say that obviously when I've had fights in the past where, you know, you're in another country, your family and friends aren't actually there, like, other than a few, there's kind of a little bit of a relaxation as no one's watching. But you know, as I say, the pressure, when I come out and I see my family, my friends and people holding flags up, you know, that pressure, I rise to it. You know, it gets my nerves going more, but as long as I get Brad giving me a slap before I go in, you know, when I'm in there, it's game time and I'm ready to go.
Talking of Brad, how's he getting on for the bare knuckle fight?
Great, he's looking in great shape. You know, Brad's one of those guys, he's a competitor and he needs that competition. You know, since he's retired, you can just see it, he's still got that hunger in him. So to finally be on a bare knuckle boxing fight just so he can compete, it means a lot to me.
What do you think of your opponent this time out? He might not be that familiar with UK and Irish audience, but he's on a win streak, a lot of decisions to his name. What do you expect him to bring to the table here on Saturday?
If I'm honest, I don't know much about him. I haven't watched too much on him, obviously. From what I have seen, he's a very talented fighter, which, you know, every UFC fighter's got, obviously, the skill set to belong here. I'm not taking him lightly. I've put my 100% into this fight camp, and if I'm honest, I believe, and not in a cocky way, just full of confidence, that he doesn't beat me anywhere. I can't see him, if we go to the floor, if we're on the stand-up, I can't see what problems he brings for me. The thing is, though, obviously in this sport you can't make a mistake, so I've got to make sure that I come in with my A game, do what I'm good at, and if I do, which I intend on doing, then, you know, there's going to be an easy night for me.
Is it about, you know, putting the head down for you and taking, you know, we often see with fighters, you know, they get thrown into the deep end quite a lot. I think, you know, a slow progression is good for you. Is that the way you feel about it?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't feel I've had a slow progression. Obviously, Johnny Eduardo being my debut, I think the fight before me, he lost. Before that, he was ranked 10th in the world. Obviously, he had been fighting when I was born. So, you know, I know he was a bit older, which obviously worked in my favour, but that guy was experienced, man. You know, that was a tough debut to have. Then going on to Andre Ewell, which should have been Tom Duquesnoy, that's a tough fight. Andre Ewell being one of those guys that's very tricky, he'd just beaten Renan Barral, who was a former champ. And, you know, I don't feel like I've had an easy route so far. But, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to fight. So whoever the UFC give me, you know, I'll take it.
You mentioned Tom there. That's a fight everyone still sort of wants to see. Is that in your thoughts at all? Has it been in your thoughts at all?
If I'm honest, not at the moment, only because, you know, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. All I ever see is him doing model shoots. So, you know, I don't even know if he's competing anymore. It's been a long time since his last fight, and I don't need him. So, you know, like I said, if the UFC come up to me and say, right, we want you to fight Tom Duquesnoy, cool, I'll fight Tom Duquesnoy. But, you know, I don't need to be calling him out. He does nothing for me, and as far as I'm aware, I'm ranked higher than him now.